She was walking home at dusk, tired and unnoticed, when a bent figure appeared on the narrow path. The stranger was old. Her back curved like a question the world refused to answer. Her eyes were sharp, too sharp. In her hands was a small leather pouch, worn thin by time. The air went still. Even the insects stopped. The woman tried to pass, but the figure lifted one finger. Slowly, carefully. "Take this," the voice said. Dry, certain. Inside the pouch was a simple coin. Dull, heavy, cold against the skin. Nothing special to look at. Yet the moment it touched her palm, her chest tightened. The stranger leaned closer, close enough for breath to mix. "Never sell your respect." The words fell hard, like stone, like law. The woman laughed softly, unsure, but the figure did not smile. The finger tapped the coin once, then again. "Never sell your respect." The path felt smaller. The trees leaned in. She asked what the coin was for. The stranger ignored the question. She only shook her head, slow and final. "Never sell your respect." The woman tried to return the pouch. Her hand would not move. The leather seemed to cling to her skin. Fear crept in, not loud, quiet. The old face softened just for a moment. "This will open doors," the figure said. "It will bring easy money, fast favor, sweet offers. But hear me." The finger pressed against the woman's chest. "Never sell your respect." A sudden wind rushed through the path. Dust filled the air. When she blinked, the stranger was gone. No footsteps, no shadow. Only the pouch in her hand, only the coin. Only the words echoing in her head, heavy and clear, refusing to fade. "Never sell your respect." She stood alone as night fell, holding a choice she did not yet understand. From that day, life did not soften. It stayed hard. Men passed her by like she was air. At gatherings, eyes slid away. When choices were made, her name never came up. Laughter stopped when she stepped closer. Smiles faded fast. She learned to stand at the edge of circles, pretending not to notice how often she was left behind. She worked. She waited. She hoped. Still, no one chose her. Mothers whispered to their sons. Friends avoided setting her up. Even kind faces carried doubt. Something about her felt invisible. Or worse, like a warning others could not explain. At night, she sat alone and touched the pouch. The coin stayed cold, silent, heavy. She remembered the words. "Never sell your respect." They sounded distant then, like advice meant for someone else, someone with options, someone desired. All she wanted was simple. One person, one hand reaching for hers without shame. One voice saying her name with pride. Not riches, not power, just to be loved openly, truly. Yet each season passed the same way. Festivals came and went. Weddings filled the square. She remained seated, clapping politely, swallowing the ache in her chest. Some days, bitterness tried to grow. She pushed it down. Other days, loneliness spoke louder than reason. She wondered what she was missing, what others had that she did not. The coin felt heavier then, like it was listening. When men did approach, it was never serious. Jokes, half-promises, eyes that measured instead of cared. They never stayed. They never returned. Each time, hope rose briefly, then fell harder. She told herself to be patient, to keep dignity, to wait. The rule echoed faintly, stubborn and unchanged. Never sell your respect. But respect felt expensive, and she was tired of being poor in love. As rejection piled up, something shifted inside her. Not anger, not yet. Just a quiet willingness. A thought she did not say aloud, a door she did not open. But she stood closer to it than she ever had before. The change began quietly, too quietly for anyone to notice at first. After the coin entered her life, small things shifted around her. Not for her, around her. When people lingered near her, luck followed them home. A trader who shared her bench sold out by sunset. A neighbor who borrowed her mat found extra money the next day. A man who laughed with her won favor at work. She watched, confused, careful. Each time someone benefited, she remained the same. Empty hands, empty evenings. Yet the pattern grew clear. Anyone who stayed close gained something. Coin, promotion, opportunity, ease. She gained nothing, not even gratitude. She did not speak of it. She hid the pouch deep in her clothes. The rule whispered in her mind. Never sell your respect. She did not know what that meant yet, only that the warning felt tied to this strange balance. Others rising, her standing still. Soon word spread without words. Men began to appear more often, smiles sharper, compliments quicker. They sat closer than before, asked questions, offered drinks. They stayed longer, not for her stories, not for her eyes, for the luck that followed her like a shadow. Each time someone left her side, their life moved forward. Each time she was left behind. Again, the unfairness burned slowly. She felt like a bridge everyone crossed, but no one stopped on. Useful, unseen. At night, she held the coin and wondered why it chose her. Why she carried the source but never tasted the result. The warning echoed again, heavier now. Never sell your respect. It felt less like advice, more like a lock. She began to realize the truth she did not want. She was the door. Others walked through. She stayed outside. The coin was not broken. It was working exactly as it was meant to. And the thought returned, soft, dangerous. If others could gain so easily through her, maybe she could finally gain too. Maybe the rule was the only thing in the way. She did not say it, but she felt it. The secret was no longer just about luck. It was about choice. And she was getting tired of choosing nothing. He arrived fast, too fast. One morning he stood in front of her with a smile that felt practiced. Clean clothes, confident voice. He spoke of fate, of how long he had watched her from afar, of how he saw something special no one else did. She wanted to believe him. She almost did. He held her hand in public, walked her through the market, said her name loudly, proudly. People noticed. Whispers shifted. For the first time, she felt seen. Money followed him like a loyal dog. Deals closed. Doors opened. His pockets grew heavy. He laughed more. Promised a home. Promised forever. She watched his life bloom, while hers stayed the same. Still, she smiled. Still, she waited. At night, she touched the pouch. The rule pressed against her thoughts. Never sell your respect. She did not understand how she was selling anything. She gave love. She gave time. She gave hope. That felt clean. That felt right. Then the change came. Subtle at first. He stopped holding her hand. He walked ahead. His voice sharpened. Jokes turned cruel. One afternoon, in the middle of the square, he laughed with others and called her lucky to have him. Not the other way around. The crowd heard. The crowd watched. Shame burned her face. He did not care. The next day, he did not come. The day after, he passed her without greeting. Soon he was gone. Richer, louder, untouched. People looked at her differently again. Pity mixed with knowing. She stood alone, holding the weight of a promise that was never real. The coin felt colder than ever. The rule echoed, clear and accusing. Never sell your respect. She had not broken it, or so she told herself. But something had been taken. Something public. Something she could not get back. and the pattern had begun. He did not wait long. He never does, these ones. This man came with softer words and slower steps. He listened more, nodded often, said he understood her pain, said the first was a mistake, said he was different. Again her heart lifted, carefully this time. He took her to better places, introduced her to important faces. Luck wrapped itself around him quickly. His work flourished, his name traveled. He praised her in private and ignored her in public. The shift was faster this time. Soon he began to correct her, her clothes, her voice, her past. He spoke like he was improving something broken. When she protested, he laughed, said she should be grateful, said she was lucky. One evening, during a gathering, he stood up and joked about how she brought him success, but needed guidance. Laughter followed, not kind laughter, the kind that cuts. She felt small, seen, reduced. The rule flashed in her mind. Never sell your respect. Her chest tightened. This felt wrong, worse than before. She went home alone that night. He did not follow. By morning he had taken everything good and left everything bitter. His prosperity remained. Her name was stained. People whispered openly now. They spoke as if she was the price men paid before rising, a stepping stone. She sat on her mat and cried quietly. The coin lay in her palm, heavier than before. She finally understood part of the warning. Respect was not taken all at once. It was traded slowly, smile by smile, silence by silence. She had not chosen money, but she had accepted the pattern, and the cost was clearer now. The second betrayal hurt more because she had seen it coming and stayed anyway. She wiped her face and stood up. Shame clung to her clothes. The village had learned her role, and men were learning too. By the time the next one came, the village was watching. Eyes followed her steps. Whispers traveled faster than feet. People pretended not to stare, but they did. They always did. This man was bold, younger, louder. He did not bother with long promises. He moved close quickly. Too quickly. He joked about her past like it was common knowledge. Said he was not afraid. Said he knew how to handle women like her. She hesitated. The rule stirred inside her. Never sell your respect. The words felt sharp now, warning and threat together. But loneliness pressed harder, and the village already believed the worst. She agreed. Not with hope this time, with tired acceptance. As expected, fortune rushed toward him. Money, praise, opportunity. Everyone saw it. Everyone talked. They said her presence was powerful, dangerous, useful. He grew careless. He boasted openly about what being near her brought him. In the square, he joked that she was his charm, his lucky thing. The crowd laughed. She did not. When he left, it was not quiet. He made sure people knew. He walked away, smiling, richer and louder than before. She stood where he left her, still, exposed. The whispers grew crueler. Now the pattern was public, clear. Men came close, rose, fast, left. The village nodded each time like it was expected. Hope thinned inside her. Not broken, just weak. She no longer dreamed of love, only rest, only silence. The coin felt like a brand now. The rule stayed firm. Never sell your respect. Yet respect felt already sold, piece by piece, without her ever touching the money. She wondered how much more she could lose before nothing remained. After the third, men stopped pretending. They came for gain, not affection. No flowers, no promises, just quick smiles and clearer intentions. They stayed close long enough to rise, then disappeared. Everyone knew. No one hid it anymore. She let it happen. Not because she wanted it, because she was tired. Tired of fighting whispers. Tired of correcting lies. Tired of holding on to dignity no one defended. Acceptance felt easier than resistance. Each time, prosperity bloomed for them. Each time, her life stayed still. Shame became routine. The village spoke openly now. Children repeated words they did not understand. Elders shook their heads. Pity turned into blame. At night, she avoided her own reflection. The pouch lay beside her, untouched. The rule echoed softly, constant. Never sell your respect. The words felt cruel now, mocking, as if respect had value only when someone wanted to buy it. She stopped expecting love. She stopped expecting fairness. Men used her presence like a tool, like a ladder. Step, climb, leave. She did not protest. Exhaustion sealed her mouth. Once a man tossed her a small gift before leaving. Not much. But it was the first time she received anything tangible. Money. Easy money. The thing she had been denied for so long. Her hand trembled as she held it. The coin in the pouch seemed to burn. The rule screamed in her chest. Never sell your respect. For the first time, she wondered if it was already too late. If the warning came after the fall, not before. She accepted more. Small payments, favors, things to survive. The village saw. The judgment hardened. Her name lost its softness. She became a story told with lowered voices and sharp looks. At the bottom of it all, something inside her cracked. Not loudly, quietly. The last piece of hope slid away. And that was when the object finally began to change everything. The change did not announce itself. It came one morning when she opened the pouch and the coin shone. Not bright, not magical, just clean. Heavy with promise. When she stepped outside, people looked twice. Then again. Heads turned, voices softened. Her walk felt lighter. Her skin seemed clearer. Men slowed their steps. Women paused mid-sentence. Something around her had shifted. Not inside. Around. Like the world had finally decided to notice. Opportunities came without asking. Offers, invitations, easy doors opening. This time it was her name being called. Her presence demanded attention. Money followed her steps now. Directly, quickly, no middlemen. The village was shocked. The same mouths that whispered now, praised. They asked questions. They smiled too wide. She was welcomed into spaces once closed to her. Respect appeared suddenly, as if it had always been there. She touched the coin often, too often. The rule murmured in the background, never sell your respect. It felt distant now, old, like something that belonged to a poorer version of herself. She dressed better, ate better, spoke less. People listened more. Power wrapped around her gently, convincingly. It felt like justice, like reward for endurance. Men approached differently now, careful, polite, wanting her approval. She chose who stayed and who left. For the first time, she controlled the pattern. The village called it a blessing. They forgot the past quickly. She almost did too. Almost. At night, when the noise faded, she felt the coin grow warm. Not comforting. Alert. As if reminding her of a rule she no longer wanted to hear. Never sell your respect. She smiled and closed the pouch. For once, she believed she had beaten the warning. The test came suddenly. In the open, where everyone could see. A wealthy figure approached her during a crowded celebration. Confident. Admired. He spoke softly, but his offer was loud. Protection, more money, more status. One condition. Small, he said. Private, he said. Temporary. The village held its breath, eyes fixed on her. This was different. This choice was clear. The coin grew hot against her skin. The rule struck her mind like a drum. Never sell your respect. For a moment she hesitated. Just a moment. Long enough. That was enough. The ground seemed to tilt. Her voice caught. The man smiled, already certain. She did not even speak her answer. The pause spoke for her. The coin fell from the pouch. It hit the earth with a sharp sound. The shine vanished instantly. Her beauty dulled. Her strength drained. Murmurs exploded around her. People stepped back as if she carried sickness. The man withdrew his hand, face twisted with disgust. He laughed once, loud, cruel. Then he turned away. The crowd followed his lead. Fear replaced admiration. Respect evaporated. The doors that had opened slammed shut. The power fled faster than it came. She stood shaking as whispers turned to accusations. They said she was greedy, that she was cursed, that she deserved it. She reached for the coin. It was cold again, dead. The rule echoed one final time, heavy with judgment. Never sell your respect. She had not even taken the money, not fully, but the world had seen the hesitation, and that was the price. Immediate, public, final. By nightfall, she was alone again. No favors, no status, only memory. Prosperity had turned into fear, and fear into silence. She sat where it all began, holding the proof that some warnings do not forgive delay. He came quietly, not like the others. No crowd, no promises, just a familiar face from long ago. A man who had known her before the coin, before the whispers, before the rise and fall. He greeted her gently, asked how she was, not what she had, not what she could give. His life was simple, his clothes worn, his hands honest. Being near her brought him nothing, no luck, no gain, no sudden change. They walked together, slowly. He listened, really listened. He did not mention the past men. He did not ask about the coin. He spoke of ordinary things. Work, weather, small hopes. Her chest tightened. This was the love she had wanted. Unloud, unimpressive, real. It frightened her more than power ever had. The rule did not shout this time. Never sell your respect. It rested between them like a reminder, not a threat. He admitted he had cared for her once but felt unworthy, said he left because he had nothing to offer. He apologized for his silence. She felt tears rise, not from pain, from recognition. There was no prosperity tied to him, no advantage, just presence, just choice. For the first time, she understood the rule fully. Respect was not about what others saw. It was about what she kept. He reached for her hand and waited. No demand, no expectation. The village barely noticed them together. There was nothing dramatic to watch, and that was the point. She stood between two truths, the weight of what the coin once gave, and the quiet of what this man offered. Power had been loud, love was soft. One demanded sacrifice, the other asked only honesty. She opened the pouch slowly. The coin lay inside, dull and useless now, but still heavy with memory. The rule surfaced one last time, calm and unchanging. Never sell your respect. She looked at him, at his patience, at his empty hands. He would gain nothing by staying. No wealth, no rise, only her. Her fingers closed around the coin. For a moment she remembered the attention, the ease, the way the village bowed. Then she remembered the cost, the public shame, the instant fall. She placed the coin on the ground and stepped away from it, not in anger, not in fear, in release. "I choose this," she said quietly, meaning the simple life in front of her. The air felt lighter. The pouch lost its weight. The object stayed where it was, just metal on dirt. No glow, no pull. He smiled, not wide, just enough. He took her hand. This time there was no audience, no gain, no loss. The village would not sing about this choice. No one would envy it, but it was hers. For the first time, she felt whole without being watched. They left the center of the village, not in shame, not in pride. They built a small life on the edge of noise. Work was honest. Days were plain. Nights were quiet. There was no magic there. No sudden wealth. No watching eyes. Just shared meals. Shared silence. Shared effort. He never rose above others. She was never placed below. Sometimes people asked about the past. She did not explain. Legends do not need defense. The coin was never seen again. The pouch dried and cracked, then disappeared. She kept one thing only, the rule. Not spoken often, not shouted, carried inside. Never sell your respect. Children later heard her story told in parts. Some said she was foolish. Others said she was strong. The truth lived between those words. She grew older with steady hands and clear eyes. When she laughed, it was not for attention. When she cried, it was not alone. And when love stayed, it stayed without payment. That is why the elders still say, in low voices, when choices feel easy and money feels fast, some things cost more after you buy them.